they found this right in the middle of downtown Miami.
This guy?
Yeah. Now that's not, that's like what it looks like now. But if some of the images you'll see, from back when it was being excavated, there's post holes. Now, yeah, go back one. That other one was good. Go back one. There you go. That's a good one. Pop on that. Yeah. Now see how there's post holes all around that thing?
Mm-hmm.
And what they would do is they would put posts in there, and when the posts would rot, they would just dig another one out next to it and put it in. And they eventually ended up with like almost a full circle, just holes that were all like overlapping. And so they started putting poles in the middle across it, and it was basically this giant round deck. Imagine just a big round deck that sat on like pole barn pilings. Mm-hmm. And I'm sure it had a big roof. They all say it had a big roof. There's pieces of the roofing material that they've found. But yeah, this thing was built over centuries. They kept rebuilding it, and it's right next to the water. I mean, see how it is now? They've actually accentuated the circle.
Yeah, that's what I was looking at this one.
Yeah, that is the monument now that they built to it. They kind of emulated the shape of it, and the way that it grew in the post holes, the last batch of post holes they had. So this was a major Indian site in Florida, for a long time, for hundreds of years. And it's right in the middle of this field, so you know that, yeah, all that crap around there was all Indians. And that curved seawall there is a shell midden. There's a reason they put the seawall there back in the 40s, because there was a shell midden. They just built it right up against it, They didn't have to put fill in or anything.
Golly.
Hooked them up, yeah. But the Miami Circle has been said to be 1,500 years old, 15 to 1,800 years old. Yeah, see, there you go. Now you can see all the different. Yeah, see all the different. They call those solution holes, where the rain actually eats through the limestone and creates like a pH that actually eats through the limestone and is a sort of acidic, and it makes solution holes that go down into the limestone below. So you see all those different holes. You think, oh, those are pilings, but they're not. Those are just solution holes where the water ate through, and that's how old this is. This was all going on while this thing was built underneath the deck that they worshipped on or sacrificed on or whatever they did. It was like turning into this pockmarked, sponge of a ground, and eventually they couldn't use it anymore, and everything kept collapsing that they built. And so it became an artifact of that particular culture, where they stopped using it. And the archaeological surveys that they've done have shown that there was just like a wall where this stuff just ended, and they stopped working on stuff, and the pottery just ends, and they obviously abandoned the site. Could have been a hurricane or something, wiped them out or whatever. But yeah,
right. You can imagine. I mean, over 1,000 years. I mean, you're probably looking at like some pretty massive hurricanes, right? I mean,
sure, yeah. Category 5's like
5 hurricane would wipe out anything that's in that area
per century. Category 5 per century is the average. Yeah. For that area.
Wow. And if that wall hit that spot, right?
Yeah, and there's nothing left there. So the wood is completely gone, which means, you're looking at hundreds of years right there. And they found this thing, and all these archaeologists came in and they all argued over it for years and years, and some people wanted to bury it. Then they formed the society that actually decided to, become a charity and save it, and that's when they built this particular monument now, and thousands of people a day go there sometimes. On the weekends it's packed, and that was what they originally said it looked like. Just a huge ceremonial building of some kind, right on the edge of the water. Yeah, and that was it. But here it is in the middle of downtown Miami. And it
wow,
it doesn't have fake breasts or lipstick.
Yeah, I wouldn't think people would think that Florida actually has, this much Indian culture preserved.
Yeah. There it is right there. Now,
very interesting.
Now, if you go back one. There you go. Now, those two things, the big square thing, that's a septic tank. and there used to be condos there that they tore down, and that was a septic tank they actually put in, and they utilized the piling holes around it as sort of a drain field, because you can see the septic tank's edges right up to it.
Yeah.
And the other piece, that white piece, is some sort of a beam or something that was left there from the construction. So when they found this, they said, "Oh, this septic tank, it proves that this is just a modern thing." But then, with the research they did, that was pretty simple. They realized that the condo that was there before, the apartments, had a septic tank put in. And so, everybody was in an uproar thinking that it was, going to turn out to be just a big, nothing burger.
Like a hoax, yeah.
Yeah. And then it turned out that it really is something, because they started finding artifacts, and they started finding pieces of tools down inside the holes. And they did test some of the stuff down in the holes, like the mush that was at the bottom. And it did, prove out to be wood. There was wood in there at some point. So yeah, that's what it was, man. It was, right there, and now it's downtown Miami, but when it was there, it was probably a real nice beach community.
Yeah, that's pretty amazing. Very, very interesting. Yeah, I don't think people really know that.
Yeah.
There's this much kind of stuff going on in Florida.
That's just